Hey y'all, James LoMenzo here, and I am on the digital tour bus. Actually, given the circumstances throughout the world, I think I'm actually in my home office. But anyway, let me tell you a little story. I can make it look like I'm on a tour bus. See, we're just bouncing around. I sure do miss touring. Anyway, hey, James LoMenzo here from so many bands, I can't even remember all of them. But long ago in the 80s, White Lion, Zack Wild's bands, Pride and Glory, and BLS. Ozzy Osbourne I have played with. Who else have I played with? Oh, let me see. David Lee Roth, the mighty Megadeth. Most recently, John Fogerty. I've been on tour with him for many years now. And my newest and grooviest band is the one and only Firstborne with an E. That's with Chris Adler, Myron, and Girish Pradham. And so look out for that band. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story about touring from back in the 1980s. 1988, there was a tour going through the United States with Ozzy Osbourne. The opening acts were Vixen and White Lion. That was my band. And we rolled along pretty good. Somewhere in all that madness, I got to meet my hero, friend, and comrade, Zack Wild. We hit it off like pirates. As soon as I saw that guy, I knew that we had kindred spirits, and so we started hanging out quite a lot. So anyway, the daily routine was we would show up at an arena du jour and meet up backstage and just kind of hang out, laugh. By the end of the night, after the show had finished, if we were staying in town, we'd go and find some bar to go play in and wrestle the instruments out of the band's hand and jam for about 3 or 2 or 4 hours, whatever they would give us until they'd kick us out. This one particular show, it was in the Arco Arena up in Sacramento, I believe. They had just finished constructing that arena. And so somewhere around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we roll in. And I mean, it had that new arena smell, which was very exciting. And there were still, like, you know, push carts and drywall and stuff. All that stuff was piled up backstage. So I was sitting in my dressing room, and sure enough, I hear a little knock on the door, and it's my old buddy Zack Wild, and he is bored. So he decides to cajole me to come on out of the dressing room and just go around and explore the new arena. And so the two of us go on to see what's going on out there. We're rolling through the backstage, just kind of walking around, laughing as we often did, and we see one of those big triangulated rollers with a wheel in the middle. And so Zack points to that all excitedly and said, "Take me for a spin." And he dives into it, dust everywhere. And there he is in the middle of that. So like the child I was at the time, I go running right up there and I grab the handle and we start rolling through and just running as fast as we can. Well, I see one of these giant pillars dead ahead, and I roll Mr. Wild right into that pillar. And he goes flying out of there, sheetrock everywhere, sheetrock dust, and we're laughing, and he's kind of brushing off his pants, and we're starting to think, what's the next adventure we can get into? When suddenly the security for the arena catches sight of us two dregs back there screwing around with stuff, and they start chasing us. And they start running around with us all backstage, like it reminded me of an old Keystone Cops or something like that. Zack and I both scrammed in separate directions, and we went through that hallway, and Zack went through that hallway, and 2 of the cops chased us through there, and 2 of the police chased us through there. And then finally they kind of converged, because as all arenas do, it just goes in a big circle. And they grabbed us, and they kind of threw us up against the wall, and they started handcuffing us. And so the 2 of us are still hysterical, because literally we have to kind of go on stage in about an hour and a half. Anyway, we're up against the wall, and I'm looking at Zack, and he's looking at me. We're both kind of laughing, and then we stop and laugh because we realize that the exit door is right there, and they're just about to drag us out. So as they start grabbing us, luckily, Ozzy's sound guy comes walking through. I don't remember which one he had back then. Might have been Nightbomb, I don't know. But anyway, he comes walking through, and he sees what's going on. He goes, "Hold on, wait a minute, what are you doing?" He goes, "Well, we have to, we're taking these guys out of here. They're just a bunch of hooligans." And he goes, "No, you can't do that. These guys are playing tonight." And I was like, "Well, that's what I said, you know." The police didn't care. They keep moving. He goes, "No, wait right here." So they finally get the tour director in, And he kind of goes and starts talking to the head of the police there, and he brings somebody from the arena there, and he starts explaining. And so as we're kind of walking through, following them with the police holding us, they start realizing that we're actually in the band and that we probably should have been back there anyway. So they start decuffing us and letting us go. And one by one, the police kind of peeled off, you know, like kind of like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm just going to go and do my job. By the end of that evening, we were on stage just as we should have been, narrowly escaping screwing up the show for absolutely everybody. And jamming that night in town. And that was my exciting misadventure at the Arco Arena with Zack Wild on the Ozzy Osbourne tour of 1988. Where does this bus get off anyway?